Next, we're going to move on to some exam style questions. So these are more the questions that you'll actually be examined on. What we've just done there is a bit overkill, but it's getting you used to some more difficult questions. So the questions you get in exams are generally a lot easier than we've just done. But the first question is saying that if x is equal to 5, then calculate the length and width of the following rectangles. So in the length we have x plus 4 and the width we have x plus 2. So what I'm going to do is just put L is x plus 4 and W is x plus 2. And we know that x is equal to 5, so if we substitute the value of x in where we have an x, then x plus 4 is equal to 5 plus 4, which is equal to 9, so the length is equal to 9. And then x plus 2 is equal to 5 plus 2, which is equal to 7, so the width is equal to 7. So on our answer lines we'll put that the length is 9 and the width is 7. So the next question, we now have the length as x plus 12 and the width as x minus 2. So we'll put L is x plus 12 and W is x minus 2. Now the length, we have x as 5, so if we substitute x as 5, we have x plus 12 is equal to 5 plus 12, which is equal to 17, so our length is 17. And then for the width, we have x minus 2, which is equal to 5 minus 2, which is equal to 3. So we have the width is equal to 3. So on our answer line, we want to write that the length is 17, and then for the width, we have 3. Now the next question says that f is equal to 4m plus 2, and part A asks us to calculate the value of f when m is equal to 6. So we'll just rewrite the equation. We have f is equal to 4m plus 2, and we have m is equal to 6, so if we substitute m as 6, then we would have 4 times 6 plus 2, and then 4 times 6 is equal to 24, so this is equal to 24 plus 2, and then 24 plus 2 is 26, so f is equal to 26. So then on our answer line we write f is equal to 26. Now part B asks us to calculate the value of m when f is equal to 18. So this time we're given the value of f, but we don't know the value of m. So the best thing to do next is probably to rearrange the equation for m so that m's the subject, and then we can substitute the value for f to then give us a value for m. So if we have f is equal to 4m plus 2, then we can subtract 2 from both sides, just so we have the variable term we want on its own, so we have the m term on its own. Then we have f minus 2 is equal to 4m plus 2 minus 2. And then we can simplify that to say that f minus 2 is equal to 4m. And then what we'll do is we'll just write this slightly differently, just so we have the m on the left hand side. So we have 4m is equal to f minus 2. Now to get m on its own, we can divide both sides by 4. So we have 4m divided by 4 is equal to f minus 2 divided by 4. And then if we simplify that, we get m is equal to f minus 2 divided by 4. So now we have an equation for m. And then we can substitute the value of f, which is 18, into our equation for m. So we have m is equal to f minus 2 over 4. And then if we substitute f as 18, we have 18 minus 2 divided by 4. And 18 minus 2 is 16, so we have 16 divided by 4. And 16 divided by 4 is 4. So we have an answer of m is equal to 4. So we'll put m is equal to 4 just in our answer line. And then the next question says that the costs in pounds, which is represented as C, of hiring a car is given as C is equal to 40D plus 450. And this is where D is the number of days the car is hired at for £40 per day. Now there is an initial deposit of £450 for the car, and it's asking us to find C if D is equal to 4. So find the total cost in pounds if the number of days is equal to 4. So if we have C is equal to 40D plus 450, then if D is equal to 4, then surely we have 40 times 4 plus 150. And since 40 times 4 is 160, then this is equal to 160 plus 450. And 160 plus 450 is 610. So C is equal to 610. And then we'll just write that on our answer line. So C is equal to 610. Now part B asks us to find C if D was equal to 2 this time. So we essentially can just do the same thing again. So we have C is equal to 40D plus 450. And then this is equal to 40 times 2, because D is equal to 2, plus 450. And since 40 times 2 is 80, we have 80 plus 450. And 80 plus 450 is equal to 530. So C is equal to 530. So now we're going to move on to past exam papers. So these are all the questions that involve substitution for the last 3 years worth of AQA exams. So you'll see that they're a lot easier than the ones we've practiced earlier, but hopefully if you can do the ones we did earlier, then these ones will be a breeze. So we have A is equal to 7 and B is equal to 2, and it's asking us to work out the value of A over B minus A to the power of B. So let's just rewrite that. So we have A divided by B, and then whatever A divided by B is, we're going to subtract A to the power of B. So if A is 7 and B is 2, then we can write that as 7 over 2, take away 7 to the power of 2. And then let's simplify both terms. So this is equal to, so we just have 7 over 2, and then 7 squared is 49, so we have 7 over 2 minus 49. And then let's make the denominators the same, so we have 7 over 2 minus, and if we just times the numerator and the denominator of 49 by 2, we'll get 98 divided by 2, and then since the denominator is now the same, we can do 7 minus 98, which is minus 91, and then that gives us minus 91 over 2. So the answer we want is minus 91 over 2. Now question 2 asks us to complete the table of values for y is equal to x squared. So we have a table down here with the y values missing. So at the side here, let's just write y is equal to x squared. So if x was equal to minus 2, then we would have minus 2 in brackets, and then that would be squared. And then that is equal to 4. And then if x was minus 1, we'd have y is equal to minus 1 all squared, and minus 1 all squared is equal to 1. And then if x was equal to 0, we'd have y is equal to 0 squared. Well, 0 squared is just 0, so that stays the same. And then if we have y is equal to 1 squared, well, 1 times 1 is 1, so that equals 1. And if we have x is equal to 2, then we'd have y is equal to 2 squared, which is equal to 4. So the answers we want to put in the table is when x is equal to minus 2, we have 4. When x is equal to minus 1, we have 1. When x is equal to 0, we have 0. And when x is equal to 1, we have 1. And when x is equal to 2, we have 4. And then that sort of makes sense, because if we do minus 1 times minus 1, we get 1. And then if we have 1 times 1, we have 1. So no matter if a number is positive or negative, when we have y is equal to x squared, y would be the same. Now the next question tells us that a company uses the formula to work out the cost, which is £8, of a taxi ride. And A is equal to 4 plus 1.8 m plus B. And £4 is a fixed charge. M is the number of miles travelled. And B is the charge for bookings online. Okay, that makes sense so far. And the question says that Claire books a taxi online and travels 8 miles. She pays £20 altogether. How much is the charge for booking online? Okay, so we're told A, because A is equal to 20. We're told M, because the number of miles is 8, but it's wanting us to find what the value of B is, which is the charge for booking online. So if we start off with our equation, we have A is equal to 4 plus 1.8 m plus B. And we'll start just by rearranging for b, because that's the value we want. So we have b is equal to a minus 4 minus 1.8m. Now if we substitute the values for a and m, we have a is equal to 20, so we have 20 minus 4 minus 1.8, and the value for m is 8 because Claire travels 8 miles. So we have 1.8 times 8, and then if we simplify this, we get 20 minus 4 minus, so 1.8 times a is 14.4. So we have 20 minus 4, which is 16, minus 14.4, and then 16 minus 14.4 is 1.6. So that means that b is equal to £1.60. So on our answer line, we want to write b is equal to £1.60. Now part B of the question says a different company has a fixed charge of £3, charged £1.90 per mile, and has no charge for booking online. And it's wanting us to write a formula for the cost, where we have C pounds, of a taxi ride with this company. So we want C equals, and then if there's a fixed charge of £3, we want to have £3, and then we're charged £1.90 for every mile we do. So if we do 1 mile, then we just get charged £1.90, but if we do 2 miles, then obviously we get charged 2 times £1.90. So what we'll do is we'll use m, like we did in the last question. So we have 3, which is the £3 fixed charge, plus 1.9, which is the £1.90 per mile, times by m, where m represents the amount of miles. So our answer is C is equal to 3 plus 1.9m. So the rest of the questions are very similar to the ones we've just done, where you just have to substitute a value into a formula, or you have to rearrange the formula to do it in terms of the other variable. So if you can pause the video and give these questions a go yourself, and there is some solutions in the description in the video so you can check your answers. But I hope you found this video useful in terms of how to substitute values into equations and how to rearrange formula to get the answer you need. But make sure you give the questions a go yourself so you get the practice in. But for now, that's the end of this video.